This podcast is intended for adults 18 years and older. It contains explicit language and sexual situations. All thoughts and opinions expressed are of our own and not of those of any specific group, employer, or individual, and is not intended to take as professional advice.
Welcome to the Foreplay Podcast. Join the journey, experiences, and sexual adventures of two high school sweethearts navigating through the swinging lifestyle as millennials. Come along for the ride. Dare to play?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Foreplay Podcast. This is Bella.
This is Jase.
Today's episode is another juicy story time and confessions from you guys, our listeners. This is our second one, and we need more. So we need more submissions of your
Please
juicy story
submit
time.
to
Yeah.
us.
Not quite like that. I mean, unless you want to. But so it's not like one of those question and answer ones where we're doing like advice.
And we
This
still
is
do
more-
those as well.
Yes,
So if you guys
yes.
want to go to foreplay.com/ask, that's number 4, OURPLAY.com/ask, to ask a question that's like a more just lifestyle geared question. We still do those podcasts as well, but this is more you guys submitting story times or maybe fantasies or different things like that, and then we will read them and talk about them, and they're really fun. I really, really enjoy doing these podcasts.
So if you listening right now want to submit your own confession or story time, go to foreplay.com/share. Again, 4, O-U-R, the number 4, OURPLAY.com/share. And let us know what's on your mind. Tell us all the juicy deets. I want to know your deepest, darkest secrets.
But
Just
yeah,
kidding.
it can be anything. I said it can
Yeah.
be a story time that was your first story time that went really amazing. It could be just something that you guys have been fantasizing about that you want to try. It could even be a negative story time. Like, let's say maybe it was something negative happened, you want to share that, because that also can help people, learn and grow, because we all have negative experiences sometimes. So it can be any kind of thing like that. And I don't know. I really, really enjoyed the first time we did this, and I am so excited to film this one right now. Also, so Bella has collected them as we've gotten emails and stuff. I haven't read them at all, so I have zero clue. I know you haven't completely thoroughly read every inch of it, so you have some sort of surprise, but I know you know it better than I do.
Yeah, I skim them just to make sure that we can talk about it, So, I mean, I read them, I know what's good, but I collect them in the way that I don't remember the last time that I, completely read it.
Yeah, we'll get the email, we'll save it to a little spot so that we have it, so when it's time to film this podcast, we have all of them in one location, and then, yeah.
And Jase has no idea.
Yeah.
And also, I do the reading because I am just overall, it's a stronger suit for me to read aloud.
Reading out loud. I'm great at
Yeah.
reading. I'm not great at reading out loud.
Yes. Okay. So we are going to start off with the first one is a story time. So let's get into it.
Okay.
Quick story time for you guys. So me and my boyfriend got invited to a play party a couple months ago, and we weren't exactly sure what to expect. My boyfriend's friend from college, who we'll call Wesley, is part of the lifestyle because he's a bull and gets invited to a lot of parties. You're always talking about how single guys in the lifestyle aren't great, but Wesley really has it down. I guess you can say he's the perfect single guy, LOL.
And I do want to say, I don't think that single guys are bad at all. I think that sometimes they get a bad rap. I think that great single guys are amazing and
Yes.
such an important part of the lifestyle, like Wesley here. But I think they have a bad rap, so that's why I think that sometimes it comes off that way. But definitely want to clarify, single guys, great, as long as they're respectful, good, lifestyle appropriate single guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not all single
Yes,
guys,
yes,
just some.
yes.
The bad apples. There's bad apples in every community. So anyways, he goes to play parties pretty often, and him and my boyfriend got to talking about seeing if we would want to come to one. We're a good-looking couple, and he says he thinks we'll really get along with his friends. I was pretty nervous when my boyfriend brought it up to me, but he told me we could just go and watch, and we don't have to participate in anything. So I was like, fuck it, let's just go see what it's like. We got added into a group chat of people going to the party, and people were so enthusiastic about it. Haha. A lot of people were sending nudes and stuff, and the closer it got to the party, the busier the chat got. We sent a couple pictures just to introduce ourselves, but we didn't really know what to say, so we just more so read the chat and liked people's pictures and messages. It was a mix of mostly couples with some single girls and a few select men. There were probably about 20 people total. We had about 2 weeks of talking before the actual party, so we got ready and talked about everything in that 2 weeks. You always talk about having clear boundaries and expectations, so we made sure to get those in line beforehand. Basically, we didn't want to go join anyone, but we would be okay with having sex together with other people around us. Wesley sends us all the details of the party, and the day was here. It was held at someone's gigantic mansion. I've never seen a house like this before, but I'm not friends with a lot of rich people, so maybe this is normal, lol.
I've always wanted to go to a party at a giant mansion.
We've been to like really big houses. I've definitely like been to like in the same position where she's been before,
Not
where
like
it's
a
like
huge
yeah,
mansion.
not like huge. I don't know. I don't really
I
know
want
how
to go
big.
to a
Yeah.
huge mansion party.
We got to get to be friends with Wesley. I said Leslie. Yeah. Wesley, hit us up. We're a cute couple too. Okay, we had to drive about an hour to get there, and it was tucked away, and we had to go through a gate to get to the house before we could even see the house itself. The party started at 9, and we got there around 10. It was pretty busy when we got there already. More than half the people were already there. A lot of people already knew each other, though, since they have parties like these pretty often. I guess they only invite select new people at a time. I was so surprised how nice everyone was. The host couple came up and introduced themselves, and even some other couples knew us by name already, even though we were pretty quiet in the group chat. Everyone was super warm and friendly. We saw Wesley talking to a gorgeous woman, and he waved us over to come meet more people. He introduced us to everyone he knew, and it was just a great time. He gave us a tour of the house and all the different rooms that were open for play. People were chatting for a while, then some people were dancing. I'll skip the rest of the boring stuff, though, to wrap up my story. About midnight or so, people started going to the different rooms and play areas. We walked around and some doors were open, so we were able to watch. I've seen a lot of porn before, but seeing so much sex in one place in person is a different experience. It was so hot seeing porn in real life. I was getting wet just walking around and watching people. I knew it was okay to watch, but it was so taboo to me that it was making me feel some type of way. There was an empty room that we came across, and I was so horny at this point. My boyfriend was fingering me up my skirt when we were watching the last room we passed by, and I was craving cock at that point. We both go in the room, and he asked if we should close the door or leave it open. I was hesitant at first, but seeing everyone else fuck and how horny it made me, I said fuck it and said to leave it open so people could watch. He takes my thong off and starts to eat me out off the bed until I come. He worked his way up to kiss me, and we start taking each other's clothes off. I got on top of him and rode him with my face towards the door. I can see a few couples watching us now, and something came over me. The idea of them watching in real life brought something out of me that I didn't even know I had. I don't know if this is bad, but it made me feel like a porn star, and I started acting like one. Not that I was purely only putting on a show, because trust me, I was having an amazing time, but something about having people watch was so fucking sexy, and I felt like an alter ego came out of me or something. So we're fucking each other's brains out, and when he's fucking me missionary, I see a really sexy couple come in and ask if they could join us. Okay, at this point I kind of froze for a sec, and I look at my boyfriend, and this is something we already talked about. He comes down to my face to whisper talk to me, and we both agreed it would be okay for them to have sex next to us. So I told her that we don't swap, but they were welcome to do parallel play if they wanted to. They got on the bed next to us, and we had glorious parallel play. Just watching them literally right next to us fucking each other was so fucking sexy, it's hard to even explain. We were so in our own world that it didn't even check to see if there were other people watching, but I hope they were. I don't know if we'll do this regularly or anything like that, but it sure is a fun story to relive.
Oh, that's fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I think it's so cool that like the lifestyle's all levels, right? Like I think that's what's so cool about so much stuff is like you can do whatever you want. Like you could be this couple right here that's like not necessarily even involved, but they got to go to a party and maybe they go sometimes. Like I think that that's so cool that you can be whatever you want to be in the lifestyle. You don't have to be going to parties every weekend or doing this or doing that. Like you literally can just do whatever you want. I think that that's nice about the lifestyle.
I think a lot of people are probably in the same boat as this couple, where they think that they'll go to a party and they have to swap, they have to play, they have to do all of these things. And a lot of people who go to lifestyle events aren't like that. Like they don't, I will say not everybody swaps with people. Like whenever you go into a playroom, you'll see a lot of couples just having sex together. And even, especially at like the very big events, the cruises, stuff like that, we come across a lot of people who are newer, or even if they're not new, but they're just not into actual swapping, but they just like the environment, and that's completely okay. So I don't want people to think that they're going to feel weird and left out if they're not wanting or ready or feeling like they want to swap at that point or never swap ever.
I totally agree with that. I also like that this couple talked about it before and that they didn't like change their mind in the moment. I think that's a really important thing, that they had communication and they said, hey, parallel play is fine, but we said we didn't want to do this, because I can see like also being a couple, and let's say that you went in and you're like, hey, we don't want to swap with anybody, and then you have this opportunity and you're like, well, that seems kind of fun, you're in this moment of it, and like being like, let's just go ahead and do it, right?
Yeah, don't do
and
that.
I can see that going very poorly, right? It could turn out okay, like it could, right? But like I like that they stuck to their boundary and they just stayed there, because the thing is, this opens up something, right? So like now this couple, maybe they had that experience, they had fun together, and then maybe they're like, well, you know what, now that I saw it, now that we did this, like maybe I would be up to this, but like at least you know that like there's always going to be another opportunity. You can always go to another club or go to another party or do something like that. So I like that this couple set a boundary and they stuck to their boundary. And then I think now they have the opportunity to do what they said, just not really be involved, or it opens up the door to have more conversations, but at least you know you didn't push yourself past where you wanted to go. So you know you're going to feel safe. You know you're going to go home having an amazing time. And I think that's like a really valuable lesson from it.
It's not that they're not involved though, because that's what I was saying earlier, where there's a lot of couples who like to go and they like to mingle and become friends with people who are in the lifestyle, and while they may not swap, they love that exhibitionism. Like it sounds like they have a new kink, especially her. Like,
Yeah, but she said that they don't know how often they'll even go. So like they might
I see what
not
you mean.
like
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go
yeah, yeah,
often.
yeah.
But I'm saying like that. I said, and what you're saying is true. Like they might just be like, hey, well now I just like to go to these parties. Like I never want to play with anybody. And we've said this in podcasts before and stuff. Like there is no end goal in swinging. It's not, ooh, one day we're gonna work our way up to full swap. It's never like that. You can be someone who has sex with each other and just likes the environment for your entire life, and that's perfect. Same with if you are full swap, perfect. Like it's whatever works for you is what works, and I think that's nice.
The spectrum is so broad, because we who've been in the lifestyle for like 10 plus years now, and we do swap, but we don't always go into an event or club night even wanting to play with other people. Sometimes we don't even want to play with each other, and that's like at the event.
Yeah,
and
like
that's
at the
completely
event,
okay too,
yeah.
because I think also people think that, oh, it's weird if you go, like, is it weird if me and my partner go to this thing, we don't play with each other, we don't play with other people, and we just kind of see what it's like, or we observe, or maybe we party and we hang out, and that's completely okay. I would say a majority of times whenever we are going to these places, we always talk about if it happens, it happens. But there are many times that we go and we're like, we're not in the mood for play tonight. We're just going to meet people, hang out. And
Yeah.
that's
Like
okay.
make friends, and we're personally, like I was gonna say something else about the story about like that thing that's unlocked in her, like when people are watching. I'm like the opposite.
Yeah.
I do not like being watched. And like if I'm having a foursome or an orgy or something and people that are involved in it are watching, like that's hot, that's fine. But I don't like not random, but just like being like observed like that, like going to one of those voyeur beds. That like we did that one time and like I disliked it.
Same.
And so it's not for me. And so that's like what Bella's saying. Like lots of time when we go out, even when we go to a club, we don't normally even play at clubs. Like if we end up meeting a couple, we normally go back to our place or someone's place, just because we don't. Same with on a cruise, right? Like we like to go back to our rooms, not play in the playrooms really very often at all, just because it's what our comfort is. But like lots of time we'll go to the club, we'll meet friends, we'll dance, we'll have a fun time. And we'll even get home, it'll be late. We don't have sex that night. We'll wake up the next morning and have sex because we feel connected. We had fun. And so really, it's like what Bella said. Don't ever think that you need to do something certain, that you need to do this, do that. Like whatever works for you is what works for you. So if going there to have sex with your partner is what you want to do, great. If you just want to go to have fun and meet people and then to have sex the next day, if you don't want to have sex, it doesn't matter. Like whatever you want to do, just enjoy your time with each other. And that's what matters.
That group seems to have it down though.
Yeah.
Like Wesley's friends.
Wes,
yeah.
if you are listening, buddy, if you want to invite me to the mansion party, if it's not too far away, it sounds like a cool place.
Well, it should be like, because that's like a fake name. She said we'll call him Wesley. So imagine there's like some other Wesley out
Damn.
there. So she didn't put her name or initials or said that she wanted us to use them. So I'm not going to say anything there.
Shout out to Wesley's friends.
Yeah, shout out to Wesley's friends. And thank you so much for sending in your story. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And next is a confession.
These are foreplay confessions.
All right. I'm a 39-year-old woman, and I know I'm bisexual. I just have no idea how to act on it. I watch lesbian porn all the time, and the idea of a threesome with a woman and my husband sounds hotter to me than being gangbanged or even swapping right now. I don't even know how to flirt with women or what to do to even get women to like me. And I have absolutely no clue on what to do with another vagina. It makes me so nervous thinking about having sex with a woman, but the idea is so fucking sexy to me. I know I have a vagina and I know what to do with mine and what I like on me, but then I think about doing the same thing to another woman and I get in my head and feel like I would just freeze. Don't even get me started on the anxiety of eating pussy. I want to so bad, but I'm also worried I'm going to do it wrong, miss her clit, and be just extremely bad at it, and that it wouldn't even be enjoyable to her. And I have no one to practice it with, even to try and get better before actually doing it. And then I wonder if I try and absolutely hate it and then end up realizing I'm not even bisexual because I don't even like sex with another woman. Not really expecting any advice, but I just needed to get that out there. Thanks for letting me vent. N.
All right, well, oh man, N is giving me the poor little anxiety emotion and Inside Out.
Oh.
Because I feel like I've been there. Well, I mean, like in an opposite sense, right? Like I feel like there's so much overthinking that can go into these things, and I think that when it all comes down to it, I think it's so unnecessary. I think it's so easy to say that and so hard to actually mentally process that. I don't think that you can really fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I'm sure that, like, the first time we ever had sex, it wasn't the best, you know, like, actual sex-wise, but you're enjoying what is going on. So, the first time I ever ate you out, I didn't know what I was doing, but you just do it. And it's fun, right? Like, I know that I have had blowjobs that are way better than other blowjobs in my lifetime, right? They're all great. It's fun. And so I think that, like, the first thing I'm thinking is, like, okay, if she's, like, nervous to do it when it comes to, like, I'm going to mess up or I don't know what to do or what if I miss the clit or what if I do this? Like, I think that you'll have a great time. I think that everyone will be enjoyable. I know that, like, with you, it's sometimes, like, if I'm using a toy on you or something, you're like, oh, move it higher, move it lower. Like, I think that that's just part of it is just, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's definitely a learning experience. I completely can relate to this because as a bisexual woman myself, I also didn't know what to do. And I feel like it's the same, but it's kind of different when it comes to like a guy who's straight eating a girl out and then like a girl who doesn't even know if she's going to like it. Because as a guy, I assume that you wanted to do it and knew that you would probably like it. Is that true or no?
I mean, I guess that was an assumption, but I feel like I had never done it. Like, I had seen it in porn. It looked fun to me, but yeah. I didn't know for sure that I was attracted to women. But it sounds like she's attracted to women, but then she's nervous that, like, what if she does it and actually her thoughts are wrong?
Yeah.
And so, but it sounds like valid. She thinks that she would. So I think that, I feel like a lot of people are like that. We have another friend who, like, I know that she was like, oh, I don't know, like, I think I'm bisexual, I haven't really had a chance to experience it, and then we had an experience with them, and I know she enjoyed that, and then as she's gotten more into the lifestyle, she did end up, I'm sure that's not everybody, right? I'm sure that there's women that try it and end up not liking it, and that's, you know, great too. But I think that if the thought of it is so hot to you, and, like, you watch porn, you probably will like it, and you probably are nervous about it.
Yeah.
But I do think it makes sense, and I do think that, I agree with you, I do think that there's a difference there between those things, but I hate to assume anything, but I bet that based off of what she likes to enjoy watching so much and things like that, then probably she would enjoy it.
I think it's just because society is just not, it's not something that is put on us, you know, like the acceptance of even like bisexuality.
For sure.
And so whenever, especially if you're already, I don't know if they're married or if, because it does say her and her husband. So I don't know how long they've been married for, but I'm sure she's been just in that default for so long. And so I think the idea of something new and trying that out is super intimidating, but then society's kind of pushing this thing that it's like, okay, I feel like this is kind of a hot take, but like as a bisexual woman married to a man, I do feel like sometimes it's hard to, I guess, like really find my space in the LGBTQ plus spectrum. Like obviously I know it's in there because it's bisexual, but
I think
sometimes
you're the B.
Yeah, I think so. B for bisexual and Bella. But being married to a man, sometimes it feels like the community will think that like maybe I don't really enjoy being with women so much and that I'm doing it for like the male gaze. And so I know that's like a stereotype that women with bisexual women who are primarily with men get. And so I can see where she's coming from. I don't know if that's exactly what she's saying, but I think that could be like an idea that's kind of been ingrained in our brain.
And you're not saying like the swinging or society, you're just saying like the society and just the whole spectrum of
just society in general.
Yeah.
Because like that's all I knew was sex with men for so long. So it's completely valid to be a woman and question your sexuality and be like, I think I like it, but I don't even know.
Well, also going into a stigmatized space. Like you're like, oh, okay, let's say I actually am bisexual. Now I'm on this spectrum of something that I've never really been involved in, and how does that make me feel?
Yeah.
And I can see there being like so many different layers to that. But I think it's one of those situations where I think that if you are fantasizing that much and you've talked to your spouse, you guys are both feeling like that's something you want to do, I feel like it's one of those things that's like worth trying.
Yeah, it's worth
because
exploring.
maybe it's something that you really will enjoy. And the thing is, if you're like, and it's what me and Bella did whenever we first started swinging. We said, if we do this and we don't like it, we were happy before. So we'll just almost not like imagine it never happened, but we'll just be like, okay, that was just a past thing that happened and let's move forward. And I think that like, that's the way I would approach this for this woman, is the idea of like, if you talk to your husband and you guys are like, hey, we want to have a threesome, and let's say you have a threesome and you're like, wow, okay, I'm not bi, I did not like that, then that's okay. You tried it out and now all these questions in your head can go away and you can move forward. Or maybe you loved it. And the thing is, like, maybe you loved it and maybe you didn't eat someone out the best your first time, or maybe you didn't do this or this. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, everyone will still be having a fun time. Everyone will still be enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I know it's easier said than done, but it's one of those things where you just have to, if you really want to try, then you just kind of have to put yourself out there and know that it's a safe space to try this. Like that's the biggest thing. Don't go if you were wanting a threesome, or even if you're wanting, I don't know, like there could be like some fantasy that maybe it's not a threesome, but maybe they find a unicorn and just the girls do stuff together and then the husband watches. Or maybe, you go to a lifestyle place and there's two couples, like you find another couple and then you say that, oh, we're girl only, or at least we want to try. The thing, what I'm trying to get at is that make sure it's a safe space that you're trying this out. And if it's in the lifestyle, most likely it's going to be a safe space. And I think it's completely okay to say that to her beforehand. Like if somebody was like that and then we were with them and then she told me that, hey, I think I'm bisexual. Like I really want to try, but I don't know how good I'm going to be at it.
That's literally what happened.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Our friend, like that's literally what she said. And I think it's very comfortable. Like,
yeah.
I think that it was good of her to say that, because now everyone involved knows that she might start and be like, hey, this just isn't for me. And no one, it doesn't matter. Like, that's totally okay. And I think a lot of people in the lifestyle are open in that way. And if you tried that and it was like, hey, this really isn't working, then you know what? It's okay. That's what happens. And that's acceptable.
So I know she wasn't asking for advice. I feel like whenever we say these things, since we're just like openly talking, I'm not necessarily trying to give her advice, but just, I don't know, I guess have an open conversation. And then
yeah.
if it resonates with you, then it
And, also,
resonates
and
with me. If it
I think
doesn't,
it's
then it
just
doesn't.
our opinion on something, and that if that leads to anybody who's maybe in a similar situation, not even just this person, right, but anyone having some sort of similar situation, if there's a way you can have, even if it sparks a question for you, that you can have a talking point, I feel like it's done its what we hope it will do, like help in some way on your journey, whether that's telling you don't want to do it or you want to try it or whatever it is. But I also think that like the whole thing of like some of the best experiences in life on the other side of fear, like I think that that's like such a good way to live. Is like, I know for me personally, like so many of the things, most of the things in our life were on the opposite side of fear. So like quitting our jobs or traveling full time, like there's all these things I wanted to do that I was so scared to do, and once I did them, I found some of the best happiness in my entire life. But I would say, like, I wouldn't just do something because you're scared of it. Like, but if you really feel like, I really believe this is part of me, I think that on the other side of fear is like the most beautiful things in life. So
Yeah, just know that you're not alone. A lot of women also feel this way.
and I'm
And
sure there's
it's
some males
normal.
that also feel this way.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
this could go
Well, I'm
into
just
that.
saying woman because she's specifically talking about being a bisexual
Yeah,
woman. But yeah,
but
I can
I'm
go
saying
for
that like
it.
I'm saying that like if you're a male listening to this and you feel the same way as this woman, you're like, hey, I think I'm a bi male. Mm-hmm. It's the same exact advice. I would say the same things to these men that feel that way too. So
Yeah. So regardless of your gender, however you identify, can take the same
yeah,
information.
advice.
And maybe it'll help. But yeah, you're normal. It's okay. It's okay to want to explore. It's okay to explore and then not like it. And
Or
life
explore
is
and
a
love
journey.
it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
And life's a journey. So grab it by the balls and
If you're not living
give
on the edge,
it
you're
a
taking up too
little-
much space.
All right. So thank you so much, Ed, for sending in your confession.
This podcast is brought to you by us, Bella and Jase. If you're going on a vacation or maybe you have a gift that you want to give your other lifestyle friends and you're looking for lifestyle clothing, we have the best apparel on the market for you. We have not only clothing, bikinis, swimsuits, we have backpacks, tumblers, cups, anything that you can name, we probably have it. You can find that at foreplay.com/shop.
Let's say you're at a party, you're going on vacation, things are moving a little bit slow. Maybe you want some conversation to flow. Maybe you want to move stuff towards play. Well, we have the perfect game for you. It's called Foreplay the Game. It is a digital and physical lifestyle icebreaker game, and you can find out all about it at foreplay.com/games. That's number 4, OURPLAY.com/games.
If you don't have a lifestyle vacation planned, a resort or a cruise planned, why not? You can join us. You can find that at foreplay.com/playcation. We have not only information about the events and trips that we'll be on this year, but also other options for you as well. And it doesn't cost any extra for you to book through our links, but helps us a lot, helps us continue to be able to make this type of content for you. And lastly, we do offer coaching now. And so we do 2-on-2 relationship coaching for the lifestyle. This can be for if you're completely new in the lifestyle, not sure exactly where to start, but wanting somebody to walk you through it. Or maybe you've been in the lifestyle for a while, hitting a lull, or you just need some advice. We are there to help. And you can find that at foreplay.com/coaching. Now back to the show.
The last one we have is a story time. And this one, okay, this is a crazy story. I don't remember exactly every detail of it, but the first sentence.
I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Get ready.
I'm here with you guys, just listening along.
A story for your confessions story time segment of your amazing podcast. Thank you so much. This is how my wife and I have come to have my high school sweetheart's parents as regular playmates. What? Mic drop. What the
Oh
fuck?
my gosh.
I opened it, I read that, I was like, holy fucking shit. What the hell? Okay. I started dating their daughter my sophomore year and her freshman year of high school. Broke up the summer after her senior year. While we were together, we did everything together and practically lived together. I found out about a year into the relationship that her parents swung but never gave it any thought. Fast forward in present time, I have not seen them in 20 plus years. I have since married and had my own family. My wife has only seen a couple pictures of my ex and I. She has never seen nor met her parents. I got my wife into swinging while we were still dating. Recently, we attended a masquerade party together. Unbeknownst to us, my high school girlfriend's parents had moved back to the area and were also in attendance at the party. We mingled a little, had some drinks, and worked our way upstairs to the bedrooms. The house was dimly lit and everyone was in a mask or costume of sorts. There was group play in a room we stopped to watch. There were a few couples playing in the bed, some watching, but what got my attention, what appeared to be a little older, curvy woman, was on one corner on all fours, letting several guys have her in turn. My wife could tell I was liking what I was watching and told me to go join, so of course I did. While I was waiting my turn, my wife and another man started talking. After a few minutes, she came over and asked if it was okay if they played and said the man told her it was his wife on all fours and he loved watching her get used. I said, yes, of course you two can. They went to a couch against one wall and proceeded to do their thing while I mounted his wife and proceeded to enjoy her immensely. After we both finished and regrouped, we went to get some drinks and mingle more. While I was talking to another couple, I noticed my wife talking to the man from upstairs and what appeared to be his wife. I, however, did not pay them any mind as at the time until I heard him call his wife by name, and I immediately recognized the voice. I turned around and went over and said D&J. And so I changed the initials here because I wasn't sure if they were using the right. So I came up with the initials D&J.
Okay.
They said yes in a puzzled voice. All I could say was, oh my God. They didn't recognize me at first, and I didn't recognize them before either. Upstairs, I had never gotten a good look at him, and she was face down on a pillow, then with the masks on and the dim lighting. I had since lost some weight and grown a full beard since they'd last seen me. I took my mask off and said my name. Jay almost dropped her drink in surprise. There followed an awkward silence. Then Dee said, oh my God, I slept with your wife upstairs and I think you slept with mine. Followed by more silence. Then I asked him if my wife was good because his felt amazing, which caused everyone to laugh. We started talking. They asked us about how we got into it, said they just moved by to the area. We caught up about life and such. After a while, he asked if we were okay with the idea of us having slept together. The wife and I both said we were. Then, to my surprise, the wife asked if they would like to go out sometime, which we did all go out and play together again, and it has turned into a regular thing with each other. We are planning on taking a vacation together as a foursome this fall. JP.
That is crazy.
Is that not wild?
What a fucking story.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So
I love how it started
wow.
off like telling me what it was. It's like one of those movies, you know, and it's like, well, this is how I got into this situation.
Yeah.
And then like the whole movie is like the backstory and all that.
It's crazy because I feel like we've been this for a while and it's not often I just feel like at a loss for words. Like it's so crazy to think that I've never had an ex-girlfriend because it's like
I'm your only girlfriend
because you're my
ever.
first girlfriend. But I can't imagine having have dated someone and then ended up fucking their parents but not even knowing it was their parents. Like that's the crazy part too, is like, because I would imagine it would make a different mindset, right? Like I feel like if you knew it was their parent, it'd be like, okay, maybe it's strange in your head, right? Because it's just this idea of that, right?
But it just
then if you didn't know and you're like, oh my gosh, that was such a good time, we had such a nice time together, I think it would flip your whole perspective on that. And I can see why, really, why should it be weird? I don't think it should. It's just, it's so crazy that that would happen.
The idea of fucking someone's son and then also fucking them sounds crazy to me. Which I know because they didn't know going in. It just happened to be that they all enjoyed each other. It's crazy that they just know each other.
Yeah.
Like that bloodline. You've been to two people in that bloodline.
Yeah.
And directly. Not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just a crazy story. I think that it's so awesome. But I wonder is it strange? Because not only did you were in a relationship with that woman's daughter, but now you're probably way closer to the mom.
Yeah, that's also an interesting thought because let's say that we had slept with a couple, right? And they were older than us. and then they had a daughter that was our age, if I knew that they were swingers, and then I knew that their daughter was also a swinger, right? Or their daughter and their husband, whatever it was also swingers, I feel like that would be like fun. But
Yeah,
it's
no,
interesting to
it is
think
fun.
about the fact of like, if you dated them.
Because it doesn't sound like the ex-girlfriend is in the lifestyle at all. But the parents have been swingers since he's known them.
Imagine if the
what I'm
ex-girlfriend
saying.
was a swinger and then they all three showed up at the same party and you saw your ex-boyfriend in high school sleeping with your parents. If that ever happens, please write back in and update us if that ever happens. No, but I think that's just a fun story. Like, I think that that's such a fun story and just such a wild story. And I mean,
It's a crazy
that's like,
ride.
that sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a crazy, and I know I said it's a crazy story so many times, but like, I don't even know where else to go with it besides that's just, I think that's cool. Like, I think it's cool that they,
I love that they're going on vacation together.
yeah, like, so they just made friends. Like, I mean, that's what it's all about, is like making friends and having great experiences together and
I'm
finding
curious,
your people.
I'm curious to know if they know, like if the ex-girlfriend knows. Because I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter, right? Like it shouldn't, like, they're not together anymore. So, and it's been so long.
And the daughter clearly knew her parents were swingers because
Yeah.
he said she swung back then. But even if they're that open, I wanted to be like, hey, do you remember your ex-boyfriend from high school?
We regularly fuck them now.
We're going on vacation with them because we've had sex with them all the time.
But I think that would be cool. Like, I feel like
I feel like
it
if
would
I was
be
a child, I would just laugh like, that's so crazy.
yeah, I would be like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I don't think that I would want to go get dinner with everybody.
But I also don't have kids, so maybe it feels different
Yeah,
to different
that's
people,
true.
right? Like, I don't have kids, so like I can't really know what that would feel like. So
So we have a friend, you know who I'm talking about, who has like very open parents. Like they
Yeah, I
are
know who
very
you're
like,
talking
and their whole family is very positive about everybody's experiences and everything, and they're just like very open with each other. They're honest and they talk about everything. So okay, imagine if we had parents like her parents, not necessarily like our specific parents, who we could never even like think about them
yeah.
even thinking about being in a lifestyle,
Yeah.
you know? So if our parents were like them and then they regularly swung with a couple that we regularly swung with, that would be interesting. I know that's different than this story, but I'm just like talking now, right? Because
It is
that's an
interesting.
interesting thing to think about. Very modern family.
It's just, I
A
think,
very
at the
modern
end of the
family.
day, is it's just like, as long as everyone's happy and everything's consensual, then it's just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's like what it is at like the end of the day, because it's not like I'm with my parents, you know, like it's, I'm having experience with this couple and that's all that it is. And then they go off and have an experience. Because the thing is, we have an experience with a couple, let's say, and then sometimes you don't see them ever again, right? Like on a vacation, they
Yeah.
go off and have sex with tons of random people throughout their lifetime. So like, there could be weird webs, you know, like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Oh my god, it's like the Swingerverse.
Yeah, there's like a 6 degrees of like swingers. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've actually slept through your friend through this friend, and you can see how you can connect through all of your different lifestyle friends because we fucked them, you fucked them, and they fucked them, so we're only 3 degrees away from fucking you. Like, I'm sure there could be some sort of whole world like that. But yeah, I just think it's a crazy story. I think all of these thoughts are so hypothetical and so crazy for me to even rationalize that I don't even know if I'm truly rationalizing it because I'm not in that experience and I'm not in that position I don't even know if that's how I would feel if it actually was presented to me. All I can do is try to put myself in that position. And yeah, I just am so appreciative of that story time because I think that everyone listening will hopefully really enjoy that because that is just an absolute wild ride of a story.
Crazy story,
Yeah.
JP. Thank
I
you
also
so much
love-
for sharing.
I love that he made the joke of like, well, was my wife good? Like,
Yeah.
I love that, like, that at least, like, in that moment, like, you could have played it so differently and it could have been so awkward. So, like, I have mad respect for, like, putting a joke in there because that's what I would have done because it's like I had to find some way to, like, make us laugh or it could get so awkward so fast. So I think that joke was just absolutely killer as well. So, yes, great story.
I wonder if he had a crush on her back in the... JP, let us know. Did you think that your ex-girlfriend's mom was a MILF?
Oh my gosh, she was a MILF and then she was, like, a Mediff, a mom I did fuck.
Yeah, I want to know. Or did you like not even think about it? Because they swung then. So if they were swingers back then, they were probably pretty damn hot then too.
Yeah. You know, everyone wanted to fuck like Stifler's mom.
Yeah, was it
He
a
went back to
Stifler's
high
mom
school reunion. He's
situation?
like, I fucking did it, boys.
All right, that is the last of the segment for today. Again, if you guys have any confessions or story times that you want to send to us and you want to share, go to fourplay.com/share and submit them. That's number 4OURPLAY.com/share. This honestly is like one of my favorite things that we do with the podcast
I
now.
love this.
Like,
I hope
just,
you guys enjoy it as much as we do, because
I know.
I'm just absolutely having a blast filming these. So please send more, because I just want to keep doing them. So please keep sending, because they are so fun.
If we don't get any, maybe we'll like find some on Reddit or something. But I'm not putting that into the universe. I'm gonna just say that we're gonna get a ton. I'm just saying I love doing these story time reactions to things.
Okay, so let's go into Bella and Jase's
Weekly obsessions.
All right, I'll go first. So I actually have 3 this week, because one is like very short. I've really been enjoying Next Level Chef. We're watching season 3 right now. It's completely finished, which sometimes I like that. Sometimes I like when the shows that come out week to week are completely finished before I start them, because then I can just watch one episode every day. And so I've thoroughly been enjoying that. So we're watching season 3, and I really like that. My second one is garage sailing.
Wait, you should tell them what Next Level Chef, like the premise of it.
So if you don't know what Next Level Chef is, basically it's this cooking show that Gordon Ramsay made, and there's 3 different teams on 3 different levels of kitchens. And there's like a horrible kitchen, a normal kitchen, and then like the most professional, high-level kitchen ever. And basically put all of this food on a platform, and it's almost like the movie The Platform, if you've seen that. And they put the food on the platform, and it goes down, and people have like 20 seconds to grab food, and then it goes to the next level. And so basically the bottom level is left with the worst of the worst ingredients and the worst kitchen. And it's just such a fun premise for a show.
They also are mentors.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times these cooking shows, they're just judges,
Yeah.
but they're judging and mentoring, which is really cool to see, like, that team work.
Yeah, and this season I think is my favorite season so far. And so we've been watching that every night when we've had dinner, and I've thoroughly enjoyed that.
He definitely got the idea for that show from the movie The Platform.
Yeah.
We would highly recommend the movie The Platform too.
Also, a second The Platform comes out in probably like a month after this comes out. September?
It's
July?
like
August?
The Platform is the one they're in a prison. So I don't know if you're squeamish and you don't really like horror. I would say it's horror themed. Like
Yeah.
genre is definitely
It's not that scary though.
so.
It's a great movie too.
Yeah.
So you guys should watch that if you haven't seen. That's on. I think it's a Netflix movie, I believe. Okay, obsession number 2 is garage sailing / this new mirror that we got. So every Saturday, a couple days a week actually, I go to the mail to deliver packages that we sell through Foreplay, foreplay.com/shops, number 4OURPLAY.com/shop. But we actually, I started delivering this mail, and I didn't realize, but on Saturday mornings, people are having garage sales here in Austin. And so I went to a garage sale a few days ago, and we've been looking for a round mirror that has like a black framing around it. And I found this such a nice mirror. It's such good quality, and it's so heavy. Like, it's just a great mirror. And I asked this, I thought I was going to want a lot for it. I was like, how much do you want for your mirror? And she was like, I don't know, $5. And I was like, yes, you're coming home with me.
You're coming home with
I
me.
bought the mirror, and so I've been enjoying that. And then my last one is just because I normally wouldn't include it, but I think people that listen might like this movie. We watched a movie that we've actually seen a long time ago called Knock Knock last night. And I don't really want to give anything away. It's Ana de Armas, and the movie Keanu Reeves, and the movie it's sexy and then crazy, and I just feel like listeners of this podcast might enjoy the movie. And so I'm not really going to give anything away about it, but it's basically about Keanu Reeves and these 2 girls that come to his house in the middle of the night on accident, and then
You just leave it there.
ensues.
Just leave it there. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's I would recommend that movie. So that's my 3 obsessions. What are yours?
My first weekly obsession is I've been in the process of creating my own coloring book, and it's like a cute and kinky theme. And I'm really excited to have it come out and everything, but I've just been working on that, and that's been my favorite thing right now. I got into just like general coloring with I got on coloring TikTok, and I got on the markers and stuff, and I was like, you know what, there's not any cute and sexy, kinky coloring books out there. And I'm not talking about like the adult coloring books that are more like adult, like mandalas, or even like the ones with almost, it looks like people, but it's a coloring book and it's also kinky. Because those aren't as fun for me to color in. Like I like it to be just like cute stuff and like big and bold, so it's easier to color. Does that make sense? I feel like if you're in the coloring space, you know what I'm talking about. I don't love the adult coloring book, so I'm making my own adult coloring book because it is cute and kinky and adult themes, but still cute and easy to color. So that's what I've been into. I've been loving working on that every single night. Hopefully by the time this comes out, it'll be almost ready, but it'll be on my Etsy page, and it's different from our foreplay one, but it is whoisbellaluna.store, and that'll take you to my Etsy page, and hopefully it'll be out by the time this comes out. If not, you'll check there. And then my other one is cinnamon rolls. I have just been obsessed with cinnamon rolls lately. They are so good. I feel like they're underrated. I don't really feel like they get as much love as they should, because I always forget about cinnamon rolls until I start eating them again. I'm like, holy fucking shit, cinnamon rolls are so good. And they look like drizzles of cum on top. Just, I wish all cum tasted like cinnamon roll icing.
That's funny. When I think of cinnamon rolls, that's actually our group text name with Mr. and Mrs. Life of Spice.
Oh, yeah.
Because we filmed a TikTok a long time ago about cinnamon rolls, and then so like our group chat with them is named Cinnamon Rolls. And so I think of them. I also when I think of cinnamon rolls, I also think of Mr. and Mrs. Life of Spice, who I just love and I miss, and so that makes me smile too.
I also think of Jackie Melfi, who is John Melfi's wife, who owns Colette. Mm-hmm. So we went to visit them in Houston a while back, but she took us to go get cinnamon rolls at this, and that kind of is what steamrolled, is that the right word? Like, it got me into eating cinnamon rolls again, was her taking us to this place, and it's called Cinnaholic, and it's like vegan and everything. I'm not vegan, but they are vegan, so I don't know if that's important to you. They are vegan, and so like the store is vegan, and it was so good. It was like the best cinnamon roll I've ever had at that point. I feel like, and they're just so delicious. And now I love the cinnamon rolls at Cece's Pizza. Do you guys know where Cece's is or what Cece's is? It's a pizza buffet, and the pizza's good overall. I mean, but the cinnamon rolls are so buttery and hot and delicious.
It's definitely like not the best food, but it's just a fun cheat meal type of place if you just want to go and eat a bunch of random bad things on a Saturday night. So I also like the cinnamon rolls there, to be honest. I think they're really good. And
at Cece's, they have those mozzarella sticks that, like, if you were in elementary school in the U.S. back in the day, like in the 90s, early 2000s, you know those mozzarella sticks that they were rectangular and they served it with a marinara sauce? I swear it's the same exact one, but better at Cece's.
It tastes like it. It looks different, but it tastes like it.
No, it looks like it, no? It's like long and rectangular like that. It came with two of them.
No,
when we went to school, that's what it looked like.
They had more of a baked crust. It did not look like that.
It did not have a baked crust.
Oh my God.
Okay, we will Google it, and it literally looks like it.
You're gonna lose
the one
whatever
at
bet you
Cece's,
want to make.
The Cece's one is just shorter.
You will lose whatever bet we're gonna make.
But the marinara sauce.
I will bet you whatever you want.
Okay, I want to look it up right now.
Okay.
Real time, guys. Who's gonna win? Put your votes in right now. Is it Bella or is it Jase?
See that?
Oh, shit.
See that baked crust? You see that? That looks nothing like it. This is what they had in elementary school.
Oh, shoot.
You lost.
Wait. Let me.
You always lose.
I do not always lose.
My memory is better than yours. And
no, okay. Lost. These ones looks like pretty. No, I'm looking at it now.
This is it. That looks nothing like the one from Cece's. This is what they had in elementary school. Nothing like nothing
I guess that
at
does
all.
look more like a
baked
Hot Pocket.
Yes, it looks nothing like it.
Oh,
it's
man.
It's not even similar.
Kind of. Okay, like look at this picture. If you guys are Googling this with us, this one on the red tray, that looks like it.
No.
No?
It looks baked, and those literally have no crust. They're literally just cheese. This
okay, guys, I lost. Good thing we didn't actually bet anything.
She always does this too. She always does this thing where anytime she loses a bet, she'll be like, I didn't say anything. I actually didn't bet you. I actually didn't bet you. She does this all the time.
I mean, I would have started betting something, but I didn't by the time that we looked. Okay.
But sometimes she does, and sometimes she even goes, "Oh, it doesn't count, whatever."
No, that's
we
not
weren't
true.
actually playing. We weren't actually playing.
No, you can get something. We'll play any game that you want tonight.
Ooh, I want to play
game.
Boggle.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what you want.
All right. But thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. The last part's just been a train wreck. But thank you guys so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed it. And we'll go ahead and hit you guys with the outro. Bye.
If you'd like to support the show, you can leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to our podcast. All our information will be listed in the show notes below and on our website, fourplay.com. That's number 4, OURPLAY.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we make videos and vlogs about the swinging lifestyle. Head to fourplay.com/YouTube to watch and subscribe. We have the ultimate adult party game for the sexually inclined called Foreplay the Game that's both digital and physical. It's perfect for breaking the ice and spicing up any party. You can find more information at foreplay.com/games. We also have the best swinger lifestyle, kinky, and adult humor clothing and accessories that you can find at foreplay.com/shop. If you're looking to plan a lifestyle destination, booking through our links at foreplay.com/travel really helps support the show and helps us be able to continue to create this type of content for you. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and more. You can find all our current social media accounts at foreplay.com/socials, and I have an OnlyFans which you can find at onlyfans.com/BellaLunaVIP. We also have a Facebook group and Discord community and would love for you to join us. You can find the direct links in the show notes below. Lastly, we're on STC and Cassidy at Foreplay, and you can get a free full membership trial by using our link. You can email us at hello@foreplay.com with any questions or comments, or head to foreplay.com/ask. Again, all our information will be listed in the show notes below, and we thank you so much for listening to our podcast. See you in the next one. Bye!